Hey everyone, I'm FM Greeno and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. Today we are going to tick off one more of those towns in Norway that I've been trying to get to. And we're actually in Norway to start with, which is a plus, so it's not that long a drive. Let's go and see what I found. So, here's the job I have in mind. You'll notice I am currently located in or close to Oslo, and the job we have is to take a driller from Oslo to Stavanger over on the western coast. You'll notice I've also picked up one down in the south of the country here since we were last together, Kristiansand. Got that because I took a ferry there. I haven't made a delivery there, but I've been there, so that counts. That will just leave us Bergen to get. I'm sure we can pick that up somewhere along the line. Anyway, let me go and get this job set up. Once we're hooked up and on the road, I will be back with you. We've just arrived at this kind of quarry place and picked up our load, which is this this driller thing. Let's just stop so you can take a look at it. There we go. Kind of, yeah, used for drilling rock or something like that, I guess. So let's get this on the road. It's about a, well, almost a 7-hour drive. We are going to have to stop for a sleep at some point because I think we've got about 5 hours or something like that left to go. Let's just double check. Yeah, 4 hours and 41 minutes until we desperately need to sleep. How do I get out of this place? So we are definitely going to have to take a kip along the way. But we'll get as far as we can in daylight. It's coming up for 2 PM here. So, yeah, we should be able to get through till sort of 6-ish without too much difficulty, I guess. I'm kind of expecting this to be an interesting drive. We're going to be going cross-country right across Norway. So there is a coastal road. Oh, goodness me, I didn't see him coming from nowhere. Yeah, there is a coastal road that goes back down to Kristiansand and then up to Stavanger. It's a little bit further, and so it's been determined that we're going to go cross-country. So I'm expecting to see some pretty hilly terrain, lots of forest. It should be an interesting drive. I mean, you can see in front and to the left, that's the kind of terrain I'm expecting us to see a lot of the way. I guess that's going to bring some pretty challenging driving conditions with it. We'll see as we go along. We're a little over an hour into the drive, and you can see exactly the kind of terrain I was talking about. Pretty rugged mountains, I suppose you'd probably call them, more than hills. Lots of forest, and the road kind of undulating through it. It's proving a little difficult to maintain high speeds, particularly when we're going up the hill. We're struggling a little bit with that, and keeping within the speed limits going down the hills. It's not quite as difficult to drive as some of those alpine roads have been, but yeah, they're certainly pretty twisty and turny. It's quite a long load on the back, not particularly heavy, but yeah, it is causing some problems when we're going uphill. We don't seem to have the power to maintain very high speeds, but we'll plow through it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This is pretty cool. You can see there's a rest stop just coming up, but I'm going to chance going past that. I've got about 2.5 hours left until I really need to sleep. With the way these roads are, I want to try and do as much of this in daylight as I possibly can. Obviously, if I take a sleep now, that gives me 9 hours of rest. That would bring me through till about 1 AM. And yeah, I'm not sure I'd fancy these roads quite so much in the dark. So we're going to push on pretty much as far as we can. Hopefully we don't get into any difficulties with avoiding sleep violations and the like. I'm sure there'll be another rest stop somewhere in the next couple of hours of driving, and we'll take the opportunity to rest then. But yeah, I think it's probably safer for us to drive in the light. Plus, who wants to miss this? This is really awesome scenery. So we've just turned off of the main road that apparently was going from Oslo to Bergen. And now that's taken us down towards Stavanger. I'm expecting we're going to see a few more of these tunnels going through the hills. Our sleepy man has just turned red. So we've got about an hour until we really need to sleep. So that's something to focus on now. I'm sure there'll be a rest stop not too far along here. So if we pick up a rest sometime in the next hour, that's going to give us somewhere sort of 2.5 hours of driving in the dark. Which, like I say, I think is probably going to be pretty challenging with the roads and the terrain here. So, yeah, look out. And yeah, we're making good progress so far. No terrible incidents, which is good. We've not picked up any tickets yet, he said. Touch wood. But we're going to keep ploughing on. There's some pretty cool, these little houses and villages around. Yeah, who wouldn't want to live somewhere like this? I mean, I guess it's pretty cold in the winter time, but in the summer, that's pretty spectacular, huh? But you can see here, we're getting tired. The eyes are starting to droop a little bit. So as soon as we find a rest stop, we are going to pull over and have a kip. Well, just in the nick of time, you can see here, it says my next rest stop is in 3 minutes. So, I mean, that is pushing the limits somewhat. But you can see, just around this corner, we have a rest stop, thankfully. So, just about in time. Hopefully we don't drop off going round this corner, because that could be a little bit of a problem. Hopefully we make it just in time. Yeah, that was pretty much pushing the envelope, that one. So let's get into this parking spot and get our head down for a few hours. Oh, not a bad place to stop either, huh? Nice views. Let's stop the engine. Let's see if we can get out and have a little look around. There we go. I mean... Oh, we got an avoiding sleeping offence because we're looking around. That's pretty unlucky still. Anyway, we're going to go in and take a sleep now. Well, that's pretty much worked out perfectly. Of course, being up in Norway, and it's sort of summertime, there's not a lot of darkness, is there? So it looks like we've had our 9 hours sleep. It's taken us through till about 4 AM. And it's getting light again already. So that, inadvertently, has been timed absolutely perfectly. So we've got about 2 hours of the drive left now. And thankfully, we're going to be able to see where we're going. We're getting closer to our target of getting enough cash to think about building the next garage. The 2 drivers we've got started bringing in a little bit of money. Not huge amounts, it has to be said. But kind of pretty much with each load they're taking, it's getting slightly better. We have had a couple where they've kind of come back to the base without a load, which is disappointing because, of course, you still have to pay their wages and the fuel for them to do that. And there's not much you can really do about it. You just have to trust that they're going around and picking up jobs. So that's not great when they don't. But kind of goes with the territory a little bit, I suppose. But I think what I'm probably going to do, if I can't get a job across to Bergen now, is have a little look and see if there are any really good jobs from Bergen that are worth driving there for, so I can pick up the city that way. And just, I think it's probably only about a 3-hour drive from Stavanger up to Bergen. So maybe we'll just do that, you know, without a load. If there's something really kind of lucrative. If not, we'll sort of pick up the best job we can from Stavanger and head back down into the continent somehow or other. And just start really trying to build up some funds. I mean, there are a lot of jobs around, if you take some of the long haul ones, that can pay sort of 40,000 euros in one hit. So that would be the kind of job I'd be looking for if we can't pick up that Bergen job. Obviously, we can always try and find a job back to Bergen from wherever later on, but it'd just be nice to kind of get it done now while we've been spending so much time up here in Scandinavia. Of course, there's still a couple of Sweden cities I haven't got yet, so we'll be looking to pick them up at some point. They're smaller towns, a little bit harder to get to because there's not too many jobs that go from there, but we'll keep trying. Anyway, just over an hour to go, plenty of fuel, well rested. We'll catch up when I get a bit closer. Well, you can see there on the sat-nav, the city of Stavanger is actually there to my right. I'm hoping we actually pick it up, because we're not actually going to go into the city by the looks of it. A lot of the jobs with this kind of industrial machinery or whatever, of course, you're not delivering that to the city centre. You're delivering it to quarries or forestry areas, that sort of thing. In different locations outside of the city. So, yeah, I'm hoping we get close enough that it gives us Stavanger as a location we've been to. Otherwise, this whole trip has been pointless. We're pretty close to our destination now, and it still hasn't told me I've discovered Stavanger. You can see there's a ferry port over there to the right, left, sorry. You can get a boat to Denmark from there. But, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't discovered Stavanger yet. So at some point I might have to take a little detour and just drive into the city myself without the load on. Anyway, we'll see if it gives it to us anyway. But, oh, there we are. Look at that. Right at the last second, Stavanger discovered. Perfect. That saves me a little job at the end then. So we're going to turn left into this yard. I was expecting to have to go somewhere a little further out into the country than this. So we picked up this driller thing from a quarry kind of place, and I expected to have to deliver it to somewhere similar, but seemingly not. So let's bring it into the yard here. See where they want us to leave it. Let's take a little look. There we are. Nice and simple. I'm just going to drive it up into that space over there. Let's get pretty close to the wall and then straighten up. The trailer should hopefully follow us in nice and easily. Hasn't quite given it to us yet. There we go. So, apart from that not sleeping fine, which I thought was a bit harsh, since we were just looking at the scenery. Yeah, that was a pretty good drive. So we're about 2/3 of the way through level 17. It won't be long until we've got another level up there. We can add something to our portfolio of things that we're able to do. We've added just over 16,000 euros into the pot. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with that. Well, if you enjoyed today's episode, please drop a like on there for me. And if you've got any comments about this episode, or, well, the series as a whole, how I'm going to get to Bergen, any suggestions on that would be very gratefully received. Drop them in the comments section below. And don't forget, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, click on that button and come and hop on the Greenobus. There's plenty of room for you all. Just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Some more action here with Euro Truck Simulator 2. Bye for now.